Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here then hi, my name is Miss Paris and on my channel you can find tips, advice and information all about teaching as well as being able to follow along with my own personal journey. So if that's something that interests you, go check out previous videos. I have playlists if you're looking for something specific, and don't forget to subscribe if you are interested in future teacher related content. So today let's talk personal statements, particularly focus and zoom in on confidence, because basically you're going to talk about your experience, you're going to talk about your personal attributes, you're going to talk about the skills or any unique selling points that you have about yourself that you could contribute to the school. And a lot of people struggle with this, and let's face it, all of our lives we have been told don't be cocky, don't talk about yourself, that's selfish, and suddenly we need to write like a maximum of 2 pages all about ourselves. And this can be really tricky. People find this difficult. And so today we're going to focus on how to display confidence, how to seem confident when actually inside you might be feeling imposter syndrome. Inside you might not feel confident. Inside you might be doubting your ability that actually you can go on to do your ECT, or you're actually a good fit for the school. So how do you display confidence when you're not feeling it? Tip number 1, I'm just going to dive straight in there, is to avoid phrases such as I believe, I feel, I think. Because although we don't want to seem super assertive like a know-it-all, actually when I'm seeing it used, it's on sentences like I believe that I create engaging lessons. Well, let's just backtrack a little bit. You either create engaging lessons or you don't. If you say I believe or I feel, I think, every single one of those phrases kind of gives you a sense of doubt, a sense of, I'm looking for assurance. And actually as a school, if you read things like I always create engaging lessons, I make it a focus to create engaging lessons, that seems so much more professional and so much more, I want to say almost grounded than if somebody says I believe, I feel, I think, because very often these are things that are a yes or no option. You either do it or you don't. There's not a I feel, I think, I believe. And we do it all the time. I do it all the time. I'm giving people advice and I sometimes say, I believe you should do this. I'm like, no, Annalise, stop. I know you should do this. I know this is the better option. And it's about, giving yourself that reassurance that actually you do know this, and it is okay to admit that you know it. You don't need to seem humble. You don't need to kind of, go into a little hole and be like, I think I can do it. No, you know you can do it. And if you tell yourself that you know you can do it and you know that you do XYZ thing, or you know that you have ABC skill, then actually you start to feel it internally. And when you feel confident, it shows in your personal statement. You might not realize this, but it truly does show when you believe in yourself and when you're just writing a personal statement because you have to for the application, and actually you're doubting most of the words that you're saying. So avoid phrases like I believe, I feel, I think, because I know, see what I did there? I know that had I started the video with, hello everyone, I believe that I have some tips I'd like to share with you, you would have probably switched off within 5 seconds. And it's the same with schools. You'd like to think that they read to the end. I really hope that they do, but you can't be guaranteed. If they get to paragraph 2 and they're like, nope, this isn't the person, whatever you wrote in paragraph 3, 4, 5, 6, your conclusion is going to be missed out, even if it was gold dust. So don't sell yourself short. No, I believe, no, I think, no, I feel, get rid of it. Tip number 2, think about the verbs that you are using. There's so many verbs that I read in personal statements that are really quite basic. And I'm not even talking about it from like an academic point of view. I'm talking about it in terms of not upselling, but just being more accurate in what you did. Planned, innovated, researched, initiated, prepared, delivered. There are so many verbs that actually make your achievements feel so much better. And actually, do you know what? If you say to yourself, I ran an after school club, it's like, okay, cool, I ran an after school club. I delivered a workshop. I prepared content for XYZ. I initiated this. I, was innovative in doing blah, 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 blah. Okay, that one wasn't used as a verb, but you get my point. It's about upselling yourself, because very often I will read personal statements from ECTs and they'll kind of be like, I'm really worried about standing out against other candidates that have years of experience. I haven't even had experience in placement in this year group, and suddenly I'm applying to do an ECT role in year 4, 5, whatever year. Like, help. And so I'll read their statement, and not only will it be full of I believe, I feel, I think, but then it will be kind of full of, I started, I ran, I thought of, I decided. It's like, come on, you can do better than that. Upsell yourself. You are using so many skills that you don't even realize. And I think that's the problem with us. With teaching, so many things come naturally or with practice that we don't even realize it's an accomplishment. And so we need to change that. Tip number 3 is to not mention your mentor or observing others. Now, for anyone comments below, when I say observing others, it is useful to mention something that you observe from others as long as you bring it back to yourself. Let's say you observed something in Mr. blah blah blah's class that really, really worked. Then actually you implemented it into your own class with your own unique twist on it. Or you realised that actually this child needed a certain approach, so you went to the Senko, you had a meeting with them that you initiated, and then you implemented something based on that meeting. Absolutely fine. But very often I will read things like, I have experience in year 3, I observed this and have since used the same thing. It's like, people aren't trying to hire your mentor or your tutor. Very often I'll see statements really generic to the whole teaching profession. Teachers do this, teachers do that. They're not hiring any old teacher. They want to hire you, and you want them to hire you. So talk about you. It's about you, 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 you. I know it sounds selfish. I know it contradicts everything we've been taught before. Don't talk about yourself. Don't be cocky, etc. But forget it. It's all about you. I don't want to see anything written about your mentor, your tutor, teachers in general. I see this in introductions all the time. Teachers are something like teachers are the people that make change in pupils' lives, and teachers have such a huge impact, and teachers should, I see this a lot, teachers should do X, Y, Z for the pupils. No, talk about what you do, what you have experienced, etc. Enough of the other things. Tip number 4 is to edit. Do not submit a personal statement to one school and just be like, okay, well, next time I'm going to, edit the name of the school, edit the ethos, and then I'm going to submit it again. Especially if you weren't shortlisted for an interview. Think about, okay, I wasn't shortlisted and I asked for feedback, but they haven't given it to me. I need to reread this with fresh eyes and think of what I can improve. Can you improve based on tips 1, 2, and 3 that I just went through with you? Can you maybe shorten it? Is it too long? Have you included enough examples? If you haven't, then by golly, you need to add some examples in. Have I spoken about the impact of my examples? Am I just saying that I create engaging lessons? I've given an example of an engaging lesson and then full stop, end of paragraph. You need to talk about the impact, i.e. always refer to pupil progress at the end of it. And so every single time you submit a new personal statement, yes, this is time consuming, but you are investing in your future, you are investing in getting a job, then you need to edit. You need to edit and look at your personal statement, see where you can improve, see what you can change. And actually, if this is something that you're like, oh my goodness, I really want to, I really need to, I don't have time, then send me a message because I can help you with this. Furthermore, if you are finding that you're struggling with the writing of your statement, like you're just blank page syndrome and you're like, I don't know where to start. Or let's say those skills, those verbs that I mentioned earlier, that you're like, well, I don't know what I've done. I can't identify key experiences that I can use as a selling point. Then I also have a personal statement workbook that might be beneficial for you. If you have already written one and you're quite happy with it, you just need tweaking, then I would recommend getting it edited. I can look at it for you. Check out the link in the description below. You can either contact me or go directly to the link and book my services, or that personal statement workbook is best if you have not started yet and you're like, right, okay, I need to start doing this so I don't have to be rushed when jobs start coming out, but where do I start? It is a 20-page workbook full of exercises, prompts, guidance to help you from the start, which is like the self-assessment phase, which a lot of people don't even do, all the way to the editing. So you've got understanding personal statements, self-assessment, you've got planning, you've got introduction help, conclusion help, peel, which is the structure I recommend for every single paragraph help. You've got extra tips, you've got a page to do research for your school. It's all there in one package. So if you're like wanting to do it at your own pace, wanting to be independent, but wanting my guidance and expertise from 2.5 years of helping people with personal statements, that is where to find it. And I will also leave details for that down below. So in conclusion, don't talk about your mentor, other people, it's about you. Get rid of those phrases like I believe, I feel, I think. Number 3, focus on those key skills or verbs that you have done. It doesn't always have to be verbs, you can implement skills as well. But, you know, think about anything transferable that you did from a club, or if you did observe somebody and you've only mainly been observing, talk about what things you can implement in your lessons. And lastly, edit every single time. Don't write one document, think that's it, that's you covered for the rest of your job application process. Always be improving, always be editing. Okay, any help with that, any questions, look at the description down below, or comment with a question or reach out with a question, absolutely fine. But you've got this, ooze confidence even if you don't feel it. I will see you very soon. Don't forget to like this video, comment and subscribe if you are interested in seeing my content in future. See you later and best of luck if you're applying. Bye bye.